This one's going out to the atheist antidote. First off, don't call me your friend. I'm not your friend. And this has nothing to do with you being a Christian. This has to do with you being a giant douchebag. I watched your entire video with that shit-eating grin on your face because you think you're onto something with this long ad hominem attack. I'll get into it a little bit here. The human mind and its qualities have been fashioned by natural selection. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Thing is, not only did we get those first instincts that were vital to our survival, the first things we noticed like, hey, that group of people's different, hey, we can kill them and take our stuff, hey, I can't do X, Y, and Z alone, I'm going to need some help. We also evolved these higher thinking abilities and some of this better reasoning. Some of the big ones are empathy and understanding consequences. Today, we question the social structure and values and change our ideas about them. Our higher brain overrides our lower brain, underrides that fight or flight instinct, underrides that, hey, those people, that group is different. And our higher brain trumps our lower brain. Reason, law, and empathy trump murder, rape, and pillage. I don't understand how it is that I am here explaining this to you. I figured it was kind of a dead giveaway, but anyway, moving on. Racial prejudices were there before Darwin. Slavery is in your Bible. If you haven't read your Bible, you might want to get on that before you start telling me to read your Bible. You can't have this both ways. You can't twist and quote mine and misrepresent Darwin. I mean, just you're turning loops and twisting pretzels here to get this. When your book clearly says, conquer and enslave. Now, we get into eugenics. If you want to talk eugenics, we'll talk eugenics and selective breeding. If you want to talk evolution, we'll talk evolution and natural selection. These are not the same thing. Don't make these the same thing. Selective breeding was around before Darwin. He actually was quite interested in carrier pigeon breeding, which is not natural selection, but is artificial selection, and is similar to eugenics. Who here is actually drawing the comparison to Darwinian logic? I mean, everything I looked up about eugenics didn't really talk about Darwin because everyone that I looked up was smarter than you and realized that the difference is natural selection shaping a species versus eugenics and artificial selection. You misrepresent the information here underneath that snide grin and you think you got something with this. Behavior is an integral part of human evolution. Hence, we evolved that higher brain and reasoning that I was talking about earlier. Secularists, which you have so wonderfully generalized, utilize this newfangled thought box they got up there and arrive at the best ideas they can, realizing the past, the future, taking in the best information and moving forward. To call Darwin a racist and secularism embracing racist ideals while trying to sell the Bible off as the moral center that you shouldn't have to think about or question just kind of shows your ignorance on this. To sum things up, let me go by and I've got a bulleted list here of everything you say at the end and tell you how many times you're wrong. 1. This is not a tough fork in the road for us. 2. You do not feel for us, or not really anyway, especially with that snide grin. 3. Evolution does not discredit religious authority. It's the best explanation for how life in its current form is on the planet. Yes, there are religious biologists and evolutionists. 4. Evolution has not left us free. It has bound us to the truth. Technically, you are freer than us. You can pursue whichever delusion you choose. People who accept evolution are stuck with those pesky facts. 5. Evolution supports this idea that natural order and wealth and power is static. So you mean like people born wealthy stay wealthy and people born poor have no way to work their way up? I don't think you'll find anyone who believes this. Not only that, it has nothing to do with evolution. And yes, might makes right. So I can just, kill you and take yours. God, I hate it that we're smart enough we have laws now. Maybe evolution's got something to do with that way back in the day when we decided it wouldn't be good to kill everybody. And in closing, if your God has that truth, why is he being so stingy? Why not share this truth with the rest of us? I'll convert in a second if your God can give me some truth. or even just reveal himself. I might not worship him, but at least I wouldn't be an atheist anymore. Uh, does this foundation for liberty and justice that you mentioned include the slavery? Because, I mean, slavery's in your book, and I really want some clarification on this. Your God, remember again, wants me to burn in hell. And since I worked last Sunday, he's having you Christians, at least the ones who are willing to stone me, put an express lane in just to get my ass there quicker. I think that covers all my thoughts. I'm at the end of my document, waiting a little bit for the quick caption to end. You have a good one, bud.